How's everybody feeling today?
Bummed. Mondays are always dragging and sad and melancholy when it's a Bears loss, especially a loss like that. That was one of the most frustrating losses I sat through in a long time because it felt like this was a game you should win if you just would get your shit together. And they took 60 minutes to not get their shit together. They did everything but get their shit together in those 60 minutes. So this was a frustrating for I've been less frustrated watching blowouts than watching that game. That was awful.
Yeah, today's weather was pretty cold and rainy and dreary, and that's exactly how I felt waking up on a on Bears fans in this way because we definitely rained on the parade. It was a very non-victorious.
How are you feeling, birthday man?
Well, it sounds like there's nothing new to discuss here on Monday. It's just a regular Monday in the hood. Bears lost 30-16 on Sunday. 4-game winning streak came to an end.
Fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can get into, but the first question before we can get into our good, bad, and ugly, are we past the point where we giving Caleb excuses?
I'll let you all answer that because you already know my answer.
I don't like to say excuses. Um, it is difficult learning a new offense, and this is his third offense coordinator in 2 years. But the mistakes I'm seeing made, I can't attribute just to the offense coordinator. Like if there were, let me say, interceptions where it was a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback, that I could, okay, maybe they're still fine tuning the nuances of the offense. But when Rome is running a deep end and has a step on the corner and you throw late in behind and you get picked off, that has nothing to do with the offense. That's Caleb not exercising the accuracy. I mean, it was there. You stared it down like you did last week, and then staring down the receivers. That's the other thing. You telegraphing that is not excusable. You're not even. I'm not even giving you a pass for that at the collegiate level. That's just not good quarterbacking. So I never expected the process and progress to be linear. I knew there would be steps backwards, not just for Caleb, but the entire offense. This is a complex offense. The Lions didn't hit the ground running this offense. It took them till little past midseason for them to start clicking, Jared Goff and company. So I expected some kinks to be worked out, but the accuracy has to get better. The decision making has to be better. Those are the things that I'm not giving passes on.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, yes, we've won 4 in a row, and yes, that it's felt great. But mm, along that path, I don't know that I've ever felt like Caleb was a standout. Now, for certain drives and for certain moments, yes. But like overall, have I really felt like, oh, this second year, he's really coming to his own, and I'm confident that he is that one? I personally haven't felt that yet. Like I felt like there's been progress and then regress, progress and regress. And I get it, he's young, the team is young, all those things. So I'm not saying, throw him out, but I'm saying I'm not feeling like, ooh, this year is just so much better. And I feel so much better about him. Like it's still those mistakes that it's like, bro, we not over that yet. Like, and they're just frustrating mistakes or the overthrows that it's just like, who were you throwing it to? What were you looking at? Like, there's some things we can forgive and some things we can understand, but there's other things that are just baffling to me. So for me, it's like, we need to see that progress across the team. It's not just him, but it's like if he ain't throwing it to Rome and staring Rome down, like it gets dicey. It gets real dicey. And even then, like how many times do the receivers have to make these acrobatic catches or they have to fall to the ground and catch it? Very rarely are they hit in rhythm where they can keep running and get that yak. So it's been a frustrating up and down, which I guess we have to expect. But I'm on the down on him right now. My stock is down on him.
I want to get out of the habit of comparing him every week to his counterparts, but it's getting very difficult. I mean, last year we had Jaden doing all that heroic stuff, and then now you got Drake May. I think I saw he's had 7 consecutive games in which he has 250 yards and what was it, and
Unbelievable.
100 passer rating? Yeah, something like that.
Unbelievable.
And it's like, and he's not you can't name one of his receivers. But and Caleb, his whole career has had stellar receiver after stellar receiver, stellar receiver, and it's like, hell, come on, Caleb. And yes, you're right, Q. He is relearning a lot of stuff from that he has had that he's been innate with. You know, he's under center a lot, so you got to relearn how to play quarterback. You got to relearn footwork. But God damn, it does not look good when you are in the eye of the storm. Shout out to my people in Jamaica. Stay safe. But when you're in the eye of the media storm, week in and week out, and you're doing, and you're not living up to the hype. So I'm not at the point where I'm done giving excuses and we'll get into it later, but I'm getting close to that point.
Is it Bajent time? Are you gonna be one of the people calling for Agent Bajent?
If you
Come
look
on,
at any
man.
Bears chats, then you'll know there's a few Bajan callers out there.
Oh, he's got
But now,
one more. There's gonna be a lot of Agent Bajent people out there.
You see this tan, bro. I'm not with the Bajan. I'm not with the Bajan. I'm not in that fan club. You see this tan. It's not for me. But let's use that segue to get right into our good, bad, and ugly for the review of this game. Tiff, ladies first. Give me the good from this game.
we scraping the barrel. Last week, no, because you may say so. There's not much. So I'm gonna say that the good was at times the running game still looked good. Swift was able to break off a few runs. I think Monangai had a few runs. So at times the run game still looked decent. So that's what I'm gonna go with for my good. Duvernay did have that 50-yard run back too, which was good, but then we didn't do shit with it, so was it really good? But I'm gonna go with the run game still looking much better than it looked at the beginning of the year.
I was gonna go with the run game, but Tiffany always likes to read my mind. Tiffany, stay out of my mind. Those are invasive thoughts. Stop with your Professor X thing.
I'm gonna be
Stay
in there
out of
'cause
there.
it's a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
have to get
haunting
like
things.
Magneto and put the big metal thing on my head. Um,
No.
the good was, ooh, what, jeez, oh man. Torrey Taylor made some good punts. Torrey Taylor made some good punts.
And then they got
Unfortunately,
called back by
one,
penalty.
yeah. Torrey Taylor's leg day. Torrey Taylor is not skipping leg day lately with the Bears offense. He is getting his workout in. That is the good. Torrey Taylor is getting leg day in. And so is Cairo Santos. Missing field goals, but at least our punters and kickers are using their legs. So my good is Sunday is always leg day. You know what? I'll say I had to verify the numbers. The Bears did give up 177 rushing yards, but Derrick Henry only got 71 of them, and he didn't stiff arm anybody to hell. 71 yards on 21 carries. I thought they did a good job of preparation for Derrick Henry. Now you let Keaton Mitchell have 10 yards a carry, which was unacceptable.
Here's my good. The return of good passing numbers for Caleb Williams. On the periphery, if you didn't watch the game, even if you did watch the game, he didn't look terrible as he did the last 2 weeks. And I'm comparing it only to the last 2 weeks in which he was missing everything. Everything was wide. As an example, last week, he couldn't even crack, I don't even think he cracked 175. This week, 285 passing yards, 24 rushing yards on the ground, 65% completion percentage. So his numbers are going in the right direction.
Must have put
Now,
some yards up after I turned the game off because I don't recall. I don't recall that many yards. They
Was
must have
that
put
this
up
is the
some.
he had
this is the
60
good
on the last
this is the good
drive.
segment, Tiff. This let's keep,
Okay.
yes. Now, if you want to be negative in our good section, yes, he did get 65 of those passing yards in the last drive. And I'm going to use that as my segue to the bad. The lack of situational awareness for this team during key points of the game. So I think it was the second quarter. Club had this long run. I think we got the big chunk of that 24 yards that he had for the game. The run was great. Where it was bad, he didn't get out of bounds. We
Yeah,
are up against the clock, young man. He
uh-huh.
didn't get out of bounds, and then he got his second intentional grounding, in which he lost 10 yards, lost the down, and had to burn the last timeout. Now, oh no, 2 plays later after that, Santos had to come in on a fire drill and try a 58-yarder to at the end of the half. Obviously, he was about 5 yards short. So, as the quarterback, we've seen this from Caleb before, situational awareness. And it's not just him. And before I go any further, based on the press conferences after the game, I guess I can give him some slack for that intentional grounding. Colston Loveland was running an option route, and he was supposed to be going to the sideline. He was supposed to be breaking out because of the defense was shading him to the inside, and Caleb did throw it to the out. He is a little short, but he did throw it in that general direction. So maybe I can probably give him some slack because it wasn't just him intentionally grounding just for the hell of it. Where there was some other lack of awareness, the end of the game just went down by 14 points. If you're going to try to make a miraculous comeback, you got to be on your ducks. You got to be on your P's and Q's. And on that last drive, Caleb made a crazy pass, and that DJ brought in an even better catch. Ran down the sideline. What did he do?
So DJ didn't get out of bounds. He didn't get out of bounds.
JJ Watt was yelling at all fourth
Yeah, he
quarter.
didn't.
Why are you all not getting out of bounds? That type of stuff. And then every play after that, the terrible QB sneak, the pass short of the end zone, the missed pass to DJ Moore. Guys, what are we doing? Are we trying to keep this game going? Are we trying to do something? Are we trying to give ourselves a chance to win this game? I don't know if they just was like in a brain fog, but that right there pissed me off watching that game for the third time. And I knew it was going to happen. And I'm still looking at myself like, bro, what are we doing? At no point does anybody want to dirt the ball. At no point is anybody going to have any gumption to like get to the line fast. We just dragging our
Sense
feet.
of urgency.
We burnt at least 45 seconds just BSing around. And at this point of the season, we're at the halfway point already. This point of the season, I'm thinking like you should be better at that type of fire drill, that type of 2-minute offense. I don't know, but what did you all see? What's you all's bad?
I agree. Situational awareness terrible, but my bad was passing offense, and not just Caleb. Like you said, Colton was supposed to break that route off. Like they were coming hot to. I go to passing offense. It's just out of sync. Not just Caleb. The Bears offensive line has gotten better at run blocking. It took a step backwards in pass protection this past week. You know, we got into the red zone early in the game, and Theo Benedict just got beat bad by rookie Mike Green, a guy we broke down film on earlier in the pre-draft process. Got beat badly, and Mike Green has not got off to a hot start in his NFL career. But I mean, the way he beat Theo Benedict, it looked like Garrett Miles. He was blocking Garrett Miles. So the pass offense just has not been able to get in a rhythm. On the scramble drill, they're not coming back to the quarterback. Uh, when Caleb is getting out of the pocket, a guy with his athleticism and his arm strength, he should be dangerous on the run. He should be dangerous in terms of either um, getting chunk yards by running up the field or finding open receivers down the field, and it's just not happening. Like he's buying time, and that's one of the backbreakers of a defense. When a quarterback gets out the pocket, looking downfield, scrambling, corners can only cover for so long. But for some reason, we have not seen the magic when Caleb gets out the pocket. I feel like last year he was able to do more damage when he got out of the pocket. Those were some of his best plays. This year, it just hasn't happened. The pass offense, it just seems to have no rhythm right now. The run game has carried us the last few weeks, and we just have not been able to marry those two facets of the game and have them effective at the same time. That's what's most frustrating me because the run offense has been effective. You would think the run would open up the pass, but it's been It's been the opposite.
I think for me, we kind of have covered the offense, but I'm just going to say something real quick about that, and then I'll go with my main bad. But the red zone offense, I know both of you have said it in one way or another, but it's absolutely atrocious that we are starting these games when the offense looks like it's clicking. Boy, when we have those plays scripted, the offense looks amazing. Right.
Yeah.
And we can drive down the field and it looks like, oh, this is about to be a long day for Baltimore. But then, oh shit, here come Cairo. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna get it together. Okay, defense stops him. Here we go again, driving them down the field, and then what? Here come Cairo again. Damn, bro, I'm tired of seeing
Tired of seeing
Cairo. No
Cairo.
offense. I'm tired of seeing him. I want to see us get in the end zone because if after that drive, it felt like, uh-oh. And then when they drove down and scored, it really felt like, uh-oh. Like that's to me when the momentum of the game switched and it just never switched back for us. So red zone offense, and this is not just this week. We've been able to kind of cover it up with the defense playing so well and our kickers kicking their tails off and getting maybe one touchdown a game or some run touchdowns. We've been able to put that lipstick on the pig for the last 4 weeks, but the red zone offense is just atrocious. But the second part of my bad is how come is it Tyler Huntley? I don't want to get his name wrong.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley.
Huntley, what Tyler Huntley, why did he look like the more poised quarterback? That first drive, it looked like, oh yeah, we're good. But then after that, he locked in. He snapped in. Whether he was running for 50 yards, whether he was passing it to Zay Flowers over and over and over. It's like, why does their QB who just got called in look like he's the poised one? Look like he's the one to lead his team to the victory, which he did. So that was a bad for me. Like, no way, Caleb. And they had mentioned during the broadcast, like, Caleb's from this area. He's got a lot of family and friends at this game. And I'm sure he wanted to do well and show out. But no way that Huntley should have been looking like the QB who had his team on his back.
Yeah, I think the red zone offense is a huge red flag. The Bears have the worst red zone offense in the league the last month of the season. The other team scores 7 while you're scoring 3. That's bad math. Just, you don't even need to be a football expert to understand that. As soon as we get to the 15, then the sacks come, then the flags come, then it's like ridiculous. Forget how to run any part of your offense. And once you get to the 15-yard line, and I just don't understand it. I remember when we was covering training camp, they had so many red zone specific days of practice, and it just I don't know. I have no idea why that is so clunky when it get down there. But that's what we talked about 2 episodes ago. Going into the Saints game. Do you expect this offense to continue being clunky? And I have no reason to believe that it will not continue in this fashion. Because all the injuries segue to something different. All the injuries are on the other side of the ball. The offense, they're pretty much healthy. So I can't see there's no reason for it to get better if we were waiting on somebody. We just need these guys to play better. And for some reason, I can't figure out why they're not.
Well, I'm going to keep the faith that, again, they're still learning this offense. They're still getting cohesion. I know Ben Johnson dialed back the playbook, simplified it a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to hold on to the faith that I felt Ben Johnson was the best coach in this cycle. I felt like Ben Johnson was the best coach in last cycle, even though he didn't leave. But I feel like we got the guy. We got the guy to mentor and to install the offense. So I'm going to practice a little bit of patience and a little bit of faith. I think it's going to get better with the guys in the room. I know we don't necessarily have anybody returning from injury that's going to bolster us. Like the defense has guys like Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek. These guys are going to come back. These are big names. These are legit NFL players. The offense, there's really not anybody who's not healthy besides Cole Kmet, I believe, and Kyron Amagachi. But I don't even know if Kyron will be active on game days right now. So I'm going to hold on to the faith that this is going to eventually click. Like I said, the Lions, it wasn't until around mid-season that Lions offense really started clicking. It was about the 9 game mark. So I'm going to hold faith that within one of these 2 weeks, the light finally comes on for the Bears and we start rolling.
Well, I hope it does come on because, I mean, Like you said, we got to practice patience, right? We're playing teams that are putting up points. Like we play the Bengals next week, and old man Joe is putting up points. They put up 38, and they still ended up losing. So at some point, especially, and I'll talk about it in my ugly, especially as banged up as our defense is, we got to start scoring the ball, bro. When we get down in that red zone, I don't remember who had the run yesterday, but he got tackled at like the 2. And it was crazy because when he got tackled, I was like, we about to have to kick a field goal. And it was first and goal. And just because he didn't get in on the run, I was like, on a long run, I was like, we about to have to kick a field goal. And guess what we had to do? Kick a field goal. That's how much confidence I had in our red zone offense, which is a shame, right? But it's like you said, when we get that below that 15, below that 10, especially if we're below the 5, I don't know what it is. We cannot get it in. I think on the first draft, we had like 8 or 9 tries to get it in on first down. I mean, on in the red zone, because we kept giving first down or penalties or whatever to give us a first down, and we still had to kick a field goal. So, we all practicing patience and all that good stuff, but at some point, we got to put up points.
I think that's the perfect time to go to our uglies. What's the ugliest thing from this loss for the Bears?
It's hard to just list one ugly thing because we keep seeing the same ugly things. We keep having these up and down Caleb performances. We keep having these stupid penalties, and we keep having the injuries. The ugliest thing for me is the injuries. Like the opening kickoff, Dominic Robinson has been coming along the last few weeks. He's been getting pressure. He's been splitting snaps with Dale. He's been more effective than Dale. Dale was looking like $55 million wasted. And then on the opening snap, you got to wonder why is Dominic Robinson even on kickoff coverage, but turns his ankle. Then some point during the game, Zacchaeus and Luther Burden exit with injuries. We're already down to guys on the practice squad in the secondary. So, and then I see Javon Dexter laying down and limping off the field. I see Shamar Turner not playing. I see Grady limping around. The injuries are just becoming overwhelming, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But now they're starting to hit the offense. We got to wait word on what the significance of Luther Burden and Zacchaeus' injury, because I saw Devin Duvernay out there late in the game, and it's like now we're down to what, 3 active receivers and a tight end. They only dress 5 on game days. We're definitely reaching into the depth chart now with these injuries piling up in key position. They seem to just hit certain position groups, not even spread out. It's just beating the defensive backfield. Now it's beating the pass receiver room. And it looks like it's hitting the defensive line now.
Yeah, I want to jump back on that injury thing. Yeah, you're right, Q. The first play of the game, the first unofficial play of the game, Dominic Robinson injured. Then we lost Shamar Turner, and I didn't know none of this till my third time watching the game because I'm on the plane trying to watch on my phone, and I mean, it was a key flag in the last time the Ravens had the ball, and it was some dude got Ford. Ford, he had a he was he got flagged for encroaching. I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he in the game right now?
We picked him up last. He played pretty decent. He was on the practice squad this year, but yeah, he's like I said, we're reaching way into the depth chart with this stuff. Go ahead.
But yeah, the injuries is definitely an ugly one. Was on my list. Dominic Robinson lost. Shamar Turner lost. Kyler Gordon surprised IR. But I want to drill down on the surprise parts of injuries. Obviously, the biggest new thing in sports right now is the scandal going on with Jaylen Brown's hairline. I'm sorry. The biggest thing in sports right now is the scandal going on with the gambling in the NBA. Shout out to Damon Jones. He started the week. Lamar Jackson, not a participant in practice on Monday. Then he hit back-to-back limiteds on Friday. On Friday, full participant in practice. I'm on the beach. Why am I getting an alert saying Lamar Jackson will not play?
They're going to get fined for that.
And this is one of the reasons why. And I'm putting the cart before the horse. This is one of the reasons why I don't think this game is a referendum on anything about this team, because I honestly believe when you're preparing to see a team, you're preparing to see the type of personnel that's being reported will be in this game. I know Dennis Allen and them was preparing to see Lamar Jackson. The sports books were preparing for Lamar Jackson to be out there. I'm preparing to play him in fantasy leagues. And then he got pulled based on bad information that Baltimore was giving the league and all of its opponents. That's illegal. You already said it, Q. They will get drilled because it's not the time to be playing with that type of stuff because there's money involved. And I know that if you have a problem with the defense, and yes, we're going to talk about the defense and some more. Tyler Huntley, he does play a similar game to Lamar Jackson. However, he is a right-handed quarterback. Lamar's a left-handed quarterback. Does that make a lot of sense? Yes, it does, because there's different reads for both. You're watching tape, looking for different type of cues for a quarterback looking at this direction, having that direction, the weak side versus the left side. There is a level of preparation that was wasted because you're expecting Lamar Jackson versus what you got in Terrell Huntley. Am I letting the defense off? No, I'm not, because Terrell Huntley looked like every bit of the Pro Bowler against this defense. But yeah, the injuries, Q, Baltimore side, the Bears side, definitely ugly. Tiffany, what do you have? Worst thing of this game?
Well, I guess Q decided to get his get back, because I very clearly said that I was segueing into my ugly, which was going to be injuries. And then, surprise, surprise, his ugly was injury. So well played, well played. But I'm a quick thinker. So my ugly is going to be us not taking advantage of this golden opportunity. I don't know about you, but me and my brother and all the other Bears fans, we don't want Lamar to be hurt. Of course, we love Lamar. But when we heard that he wasn't playing in this game, we did a little two-step, okay? We did a little jig. Because now we definitely have a chance. Because our heart was a little nervous. Like, first of all, they're desperate. This is Lamar Jackson, MVP. Our defense is already going to be down basically all of our corners, like all these
All
things.
the
But then we
corners.
hear, we're not facing Lamar. We have a chance. It felt like, yes, we have a chance. And the start of the game felt like, yeah, we got a chance. And this was one of those games where it feels like Minnesota, right? The Lions loss was a loss. They just were clearly the better team that day, and we could take that L and keep it moving. But the Minnesota game and this game are going to burn, especially if we do happen to be in any kind of playoff contention, because both of those were such winnable games with the best circumstances that we could hope for, besides having all of our players, of course, and we just did not take advantage of it. Like, this was a W that was very, very winnable for us, and we just didn't take advantage of it. So it's like, it's a missed opportunity. Like, we could be towards the top of the division. Now we're third. And it's like, if we do have a chance to make the playoffs, is this one game here or there going to make all the difference? Coming into the game, I was really confident that we were going to be able to squeak out of there with it, because a healthy Baltimore Ravens against a healthy us, they're probably the better team. But, they got some of their key defensive players. It's a lot of things broke in their favor as well. But with Lamar being out, this was such a chance for us to take advantage and get another W on the board, and we just couldn't do it.
Sidebar: is it crazy that Lamar Jackson has been in the NFL almost a decade and has never played against the Bears?
I didn't realize we've only played, I think they said 8 times in the history. I was like, damn, that's shit.
Lamar
I mean,
Jackson has never played the Bears, though. That is crazy to me. We've never seen him against our Bears. I was looking forward to a few years ago, Justin Fields versus Lamar Jackson, and neither one of them played in that game. I don't know if you all remember, but they were both out.
we played them when Justin was here. I thought we played them. We hadn't played them in like a decade. I didn't realize we played them when Justin was
Mm-mm.
here.
Every 4 years we play the Ravens. It's just that Lamar. It's always an injury when maybe Lamar's ducking us. That's what it is. Lamar's ducking us.
He's scared. He ducking the smoke.
He ducking us. That's why he was a full
We
participant on
feel better
Friday
about that.
and didn't play.
Even though his team still got the dub, we can feel better, baby. He was ducking us.
He was ducking us. He ain't want the smoke.
It's crazy because Kyler was on a pod with Kevin Byard, and Kyler was like, "Yeah, I'm so excited to play. I've been wanting to play Lamar Jackson my whole career, woo woo."
Yeah,
And then whatever happened in practice, and he was out. I mean, of course, Lamar didn't end up playing anyway, but it was like, damn, Kyler, come on, bro.
what is Tyler out with? What groin and calf? When did he get hurt?
I thought it was his hammy again. He obviously got hurt in practice.
Mm.
He had unless he was off the field doing some Jalen Johnson.
Ben Johnson did say that he doesn't expect us to go past the 4 weeks. He doesn't think this latest Kyler injury is going to be more significant than an IR stay.
No.
Is it time to? I'm getting ahead of myself because I mean the Bears season certainly is nowhere near over. We're not 1-7 like the Jets. But is it time to address corner in the offseason? I mean, between the Jalen Johnson injury, he's gotten a couple injuries the last 2 years. Kyler does an IR stint or two every season. I mean, if we get only Kyler on the IR one time, we're lucky. There's not been a Kyler Gordon season that has not had an IR stint. Is it time to address corner in the offseason, draft a free agency? Like, I'm talking about some real resources at corner because I can't trust the three guys at the top of the depth chart.
I mean, it may be time to address it now. Do we need to wait to the offseason? Like this dire straits. Jalen,
There's
we
some
know
guys
ain't coming.
out there that are still unsigned, but I don't know if the Bears are. I don't know. I think Cole should get on his phone and maybe Santi Samuel or some of these other some good corners out there.
Yeah, it's spooky. It's real spooky. And next week we got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and them boys. So that's gonna be real spooky. Okay.
And Flacco's gonna throw it up for good or bad, good, bad, or ugly. He's gonna give your guy and his guy a chance to make a play. But their guys are just better than our guys.
Their guys are better than our
I'm
guys.
not looking forward to this. I hope the game plan is a heavy dose of running the ball. And I hope we only see Jamar Chase for 40 snaps. And them 40 snaps could be if the Bengals don't give Jamar Chase 15 targets next week, fire Zach Taylor. Fire him right then and there.
He get fired anyway, but
my ugly is this. It's going to be the defense. And because majority of the flags this week was on defense, I'm going to bring that in as well. The Bears are dead last in penalties gained and penalty yards. Bears are dead last. And Tiff, you said, talk about penalties every week. We're about tired of talking about penalties. Ben Johnson's tired of talking about penalties too, apparently, because he said it's no longer on the coaches, it's on the leaders in the locker room. What the leaders in the locker room going to do that you ain't doing?
Well, Cole Kmet. Oh no, Cole Kmet isn't a captain anymore, is he?
No.
Well, the leaders in the locker room could stop making penalties. Like, I think Joe Tooney's name was called for a penalty.
Joe Tooney had a false start.
Yeah, so that's
while we was on our 5-yard line, he had a false start.
So that's what the leaders of the locker room can do. Not be the one, getting penalties. No better way than to lead by example than to actually lead by example.
So Grady Jarrett he's been hurt the last couple of weeks. He's a captain. Joe Tooney, he got his own flag this week. Caleb Williams, he's a captain. Who else? And then there's Cairo Santos. Who's going to stop the penalties?
Kevin Byard is a captain too, right?
Is he? I don't remember.
I think he is.
Yeah.
So we got 5 captains. Who are you listening to in that locker room about, okay, I'm going to stop the penalty? Who's leading by example out of that group?
Byard. Well, I mean, I don't recall. I'm not saying he hasn't had any flags this year, but I don't recall any.
Yeah, Byard's played. I have no complaints about Kevin Byard in 2025. None at all. I think if the Bears have a winning record, he's in a running to be in the Pro Bowl at the end of this year. He's played safety probably played safety as good as anybody in the NFC this year. So I have no complaints about Kevin Byard.
That interception he almost had that was just a little bit too far behind him, boy. That could have been a game changer.
Yeah, that definitely could have been a game changer.
I was like, yeah, Lee, if he just hadn't cut so hard, it would have been right there. That could have been a game changer.
Continuing on my defensive spiel. Unlike penalties, nothing in football has a regression to the mean like takeaways. So you can say aggressive and being ball hawk are things in your control, and therefore takeaways will be a byproduct of that aggressiveness and being in the right place at the right time. But that's not really reality, right? The truth is turnovers are more random than they are not red. So which means to me that you need to have a foundation of being a good defense overall, rather being a defense that depends on flipping the field with a takeaway, because when takeaways disappear, what are you left with? And that's what smacked us right in the face
Yeah,
sundown.
and and the Bears defense is giving up lots of yards without the takeaways. So without the takeaways, we look like the defense we looked like in the first couple weeks. Capable of giving up big plays and chunk plays in the run defense. I gave them credit because they did slow down Derrick Henry, but then Mike Keaton, you let Keaton average 11 yards a carry. Then you get undisciplined in your pass lanes, and Huntley leaks out for a backbreaking 20-yard run late in the game. So yeah, without takeaways, what is this defense?
Do you know how many 3-and-outs the Bears had on Sunday? Guess.
One. I think the first drive.
The Bears had one, and that was the first drive of
On
the
the first
game
drive,
when they
okay.
forced the Ravens 3-and-out. And then the Ravens scored 6 out of the next 7 drives.
I was going to say that little graphic that they showed during the game of like their yards in the first quarter, and both teams' yards in the first quarter and score. And then for the rest of the game, it was ridiculous. It was like Baltimore just flipped the switch on and we just went completely off. It was really disgusting.
That wasn't even the worst graphic they showed. The graphic they showed is where the Bears are giving up 6.2 yards per play on defense. Regardless of takeaways, the Bears are just not a good defense. And yes, you can put the injuries in, you can lump the injuries into all that. But look, 3 out of those 7 drives that the Ravens scored on, they were touchdowns. 5 of them had 8 or more plays. This unit hasn't been healthy all season, and we can chalk a lot of it up to a lack of personnel, lack of starters. But we're watching the games. We're giving teams extra opportunities to get more yards and to get more extra opportunities with the flags. That flags has nothing to do with your ability. Flags has something to do with your concentration. We're giving teams extra downs due to not tackling, not containing the quarterback, not setting the edge for the running backs. There's plenty of space for better football, no matter who's out there. More so than the rest on offense being trash, this defense has been trash, and they need to get it together.
Yeah, I think I gave them a lot of grace for this game just because we were down so many people. But like I think J.J. Watt said it throughout the game. This team has been amazing at takeaways, on turnovers, and think that's been their bread and butter. That's been what's keeping them in the game. But the regular offense just stopping them on third down, which we seem to never be able to do. If we're third and long, the team damn near got the first down. I don't know why we can't stop teams on third and long. And it's like, when the takeaways weren't there, like you said, it was over with for us. It was curtains for the defense. If we can't get those strip sacks, if we can't get those fumbles, if we can't get those picks, then the regular defense is having a hard time standing on its own. And we saw that throughout the game on Sunday. And penalties. Like, we talked about it over and over and over. Some of the penalties, you really do be like, the refs hate the Bears, whether it's penalties on us or penalties that don't get called for us. But at the end of the game, it is what it is. Like, some of those things are just bonehead errors. Like, why are we false starting again and again and again? Why are we having these same penalties again and again and again? Like, we not learning the lesson. Like, if we hit the quarterback in the head, they're going to throw a flag on us, bro. Even if it's not a hard hit, they're going to throw a flag on us. So we've got to adjust. And I don't know what more the coaches, I'm sure the coaches are saying it over and over and over. Like we said, we got to have those leaders step up and say things and then mean it. Like, there's got to be something behind it than just saying it over and over. There's got to be some kind of, I don't want to say consequence, but it's got to be something more than just we keep saying it week after week. Actually ain't blame Caleb for when he didn't run out of bounds towards the end of the half. I mean, I wish he could have been able to run out of bounds, but I felt like that defender would have rocked him if he didn't slide at that moment. So that was actually something I was like, you know what? I wish you could have got out of bounds, but I don't want you to take an unnecessary hit. So I was okay with him sliding. But that intentional grounding was just, because that was just so devastating with the loss of down, with the loss of the touchdown and whatever else. There was a third element to it. So that was the part where I'm like, God, dog, bro. But yeah, we just got to.
I forgot to bring that up. I forgot to bring that up. That when that run he had in the first quarter, in which he went down shoulder first, right in front of the sticks. Again, situational unawareness. Like, bro, you are half an inch away from the first down.
Do
Come on,
like
man.
Mahomes did
Stretch.
when he stretched that thing out and got the first down.
I don't know. There was a lot of bad takes from this game, a lot of ugly. But like I said earlier, I want to believe some of the shenanigans coming from Baltimore aided into this loss more so than us looking like a bad red zone offense, more so than us looking like a bad defense. I'm just waiting for the next week. I just want to throw this game away, throw it away. Let's go on to the next game. Let's play Cincinnati and let's go get a win. Let's get back to winning. Bear down.
Bear down.
Put down, claws up.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.